Hello, welcome. In this video, we are going to learn about alter commands. What kind of operation we can perform using alter commands and all these things we will learn in this video. So as you can see in the screen, as alter is a DDL command, it means that whenever we will use this alter command, we are going to do modification changes in the structure of the table, not working on the data, specifically structure of the table. Just like with the help of alter command, we can add the column or we can delete the column from table. Even if you will see with the help of alter command, we can add constraint like adding the primary key, unique key or not or something like that in the common. With the help of alter command also, we can rename the table, we can rename the column. Everything we will learn in this video only. Let's begin. So here you can see in a screen you have the some example that with the help of alter command and adding the using add keywords we can add the column in our existing table. So suppose we have already created one table and we have to add one more column in the table. We can use this command like alter table name, and the add is the keyword which reference to adding a column and the column name with the data type. And even sometimes we need to add multiple columns in a table existing table. We can use same add keywords, and we have to provide multiple columns whatever columns we want to add. Just like you can see alter table t1 is the table name, add is the keyword, and here you can see c2 is the column name with the number data type, c3 and all whatever we want we can add. With the help of alter command also we can modify. Whenever we are saying that modify, it means we are changing. So with the help of modify we can update the data type of the column. So suppose we created one column with the data type as number, and now we realize we have to change the number to data type as a varchar. With the help of modify keyword with alter key command we can do the changes. So here this is the syntax: alter table, t1 is the table name, modify is the keyword, and c2, now C2 will be changed to varchar 2 with the 100 character. The same we can do with the multiple columns together. And now even alter command is used to remove the column from existing table. So suppose in our table we have 5 column and we want to remove one column from the table. With the help of drop keyword in alter command we can do the same. So here you can see alter table T1, drop column C2. C2 column will be deleted from the T1 table. So this is the very simple example for that. And now same we have renamed. So sometimes we want to change the column name. For changing the column name, we can use rename column commands to rename the column name of the table. So here you can see this is the command alter table T1, rename column is the keyword, C1 to col1. C1 is the existing column name and now it will be changed to col1. And even we can change the table name also. For changing the table name, we will use same the alter commands with the rename keyword. So the syntax will be alter table T1 rename to tab 1. So T1 table will be renamed as tab 1. So let's begin and I will show you the practical example for the same. So let's start from the first one, adding the column. So let's begin. You can see I have already created one table with T1 name and the column we have add C1 as a numeric. So here you can see if I will try to see the value, select a star from T1. You can see we have only one column C1. We don't have data right now, right? So as we are going to use alter commands, it's not required to insert any data. Now, if you will see, I will see you the description of the T1. You can see we have in the T1, we have only one column C1 and the constant we don't have, it will exceptional and the type is number. And suppose we want to add the column in the table, right? We have only one column and now we want to add the column. What we need to do is that we need to use alter table T1 command. So let's add. So I will use alter table name is T1 and we want to add the column, so I will use add, and here we have to provide the column name. So suppose I want to add column name as C2 and the data type is number, right? And enter. So what it will do, you can see table T1 altered, and if I will see the description, you can see C1 number, C2 added in the table. If I will go for the select, you can see the table contain two columns C1 and C2. Suppose I want to add multiple column in a single hit, what we can do? We have the same alter table T1 is the table name, add, and we have to provide multiple columns, that's why we need to use bracket. And here we will use C3 as number and C4 as varchar 200. So it will create two more column, sorry, C3 and C4. It will create two more column with this two name, right? So once I will click enter here, you can see table altered, and once I will see description, you can see the table have four column now, C3 and the C4. And if you will go for the select, you can see the same four column. So this is the way we can add the column. Now it's time to modify the column type, column data type. So suppose we have already column C2, C3 with number, C4 with varchar 2, and now we want to change this 2 with the number. Or suppose if we want to change C3 with data type as a varchar 2, what we can do? So for modifying the data structure of the table column, we will use alter table T1 and modify. So I will use alter table T1, and instead of add I will use modify. And modify, what column we have to modify? We need to provide the column with the data type what we want. So I want to change the column as C3 from number to varchar 2. So I will use varchar 200. So here you can see previously we have C3 as number, now it will be C3 as varchar 200. Once I will enter, you can see altered, and if I will go for description, you can see C3 is changed to varchar. And suppose I want to change the length, right? 100 to 4000, something like that. So for same, what we need to do is that we need to use the same command, and instead of 100, we can you provide the value 4000. And I want to change the value, suppose for C4. So I will use C4 here. And once I will enter, the structure of the data type will be changed to 4000. Once I will go for the description again, you can see C4 data type as 4000. Right, we can do the same using multiple at a multiple column at the same time using the same command alter table T1 modify, and here in bracket we have to provide multiple columns. So suppose I want to change C1 to varchar 5 comma, sorry, varchar to 5, and C3 to number. And suppose I want to change C2 for varchar 2 again, C2 for varchar 200. And now once I will click enter, you can see table altered, and once I will go for the description, you can see the table structure is changed. C1 to varchar 5 as we have provided here, C2 for varchar 200, and number and all. Now suppose I want to delete this C4 column from our table, what we can do? For deleting the we have the command, right? For deleting or modifying here we have, you can see we have the drop keyword with the alter command. So here we will use alter table name, drop column, and column name. So suppose I want to drop the column C4, so what we will do is alter table name T1, and here we have to use drop command, drop, and what column we have to drop? Column and the column name. Suppose I want to drop the column as C4, I will provide C4. Once I will click here, table altered. Now if I will go and check the structure of the table, you can see C4 is not available here now. If I will go for select, C4 is deleted. We don't have C4 column. So this is the simple way we can add the column, we can delete the column, we can change the data type of the column. Now it's time to rename the column name. So what we can do for that? We have alter command. Alter table T1 rename column is a keyword, and the C1 to col1. So here suppose we want to change. So I will use alter table T1 is the table name, and here I will use rename column, and here we have to provide the column name. What column name we want to change? Suppose we want to change C1 to col1. So I will use C1 is the source column name. To what kind of name we want to provide? We want to provide names as something like that, COL1. Right. So once I will click enter, you can see the table will be altered, and if I will go for the structure, you can see the C1 is changed to col1. If we want to change the C2 and C3, the same we can do. C2 I will provide col2, and once I will enter, you can see that will be the modified, and C2 will be changed to col2. The same way we can change the table name. So right now we have table name as T1, and for changing the table name we have the command. You can see that alter table T1 rename to table name directly. So what kind of name we have to provide? So here let's suppose I will use alter table T1 rename, and I want to change this T1 to table 1. tab 1, what we know, we need to provide rename to and the new table name. Tab 1, enter. The T1 will be replaced by tab 1. So now if I will go and I will search T1, it will show an error because T1 is not exist as we have changed the name as tab 1. So now if I will go and I will check ESC tab 1, and now we will able to see the data. Here you can see the tab 1 structure. So now this is the basic example we learn using the alter command, what kind of operation we can perform, all these things. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other queries, you can make a comment on that. I will try to resolve your own. Thank you so much again.